Hello, my friends. Sanjay here with KMF Business Advisors. I hope you guys are doing well. Beautiful Saturday. I want to be on the beach. ah, well, I do go on the beach, not often, but I go. Gotta take break. Okay, right. Let's go. Let's sell businesses. Okay, what we're looking at today. I found this one listing that we have very interesting, and there's so many opportunities you guys can engage with. So if you are a buyer looking for a profitable business, this is it right here. And let me tell you something, it's not even an asset sale. Normally, businesses landing at this price, which is right here, $55,000, they end up with asset sales. Basically, the business is making no money, and you buy the fixtures and the equipment and the inventory, take over the lease and out. Okay, but this one is not an asset sale. This one makes money. Okay, it makes it makes good money. So what they do basically, they have over 400,000 males. They have over 400,000 people in the area, and they use this Valpak. I don't know if you're familiar with Valpak, but Valpak is basically uh, a distribution of coupons. You know, they send coupons to the local guides. Uh, very interesting. I mean, it's been going on. I've lived in US for 38 years. I'm originally from India, from Bombay, Mumbai, however you want to say it. But I've been seeing these well-paid coupons since then. All right, it is for many years. Okay, and then here you can make advertising. Now, the way the business is structured right now, it is doing amazing, man. I mean, I went through the number. I'm like, whoa, that's like that's good numbers. So, like I mentioned to you, the SIC, this is the price is what they're asking. Okay, 55,000. The discretionary earnings, my apologies, it's 30, almost $32,000. So that basically is where your own personal expense is added to the business to write-offs. I mean, there's a lot you can do, especially when you have an LLC. Okay, there's a lot of write-offs you can do there. And it allows you, the government allows you, so why not take advantage? I mean, look, the LLC and the corporation, they all charge the same amount, almost similar amount to do the license renewal. Why not take advantage of it? Okay. And then the sales is $200,000. So I went down into this to look further, and let me tell you, the the monthly profit is very good. I cannot tell you. That's the thing. But if you're interested in this business, call me and we're going to sign an NDA agreement. NDA stands for non-disclosure agreement, where you sign and then I'm going to release the information to you. But that information should not be shared. Okay? It's just to protect you as the buyer, is to protect us as brokers, and most importantly, protect the seller, doing that. So 55,000, this itself right here tells that this business is worth buying. Okay, it's just worth buying because if they can take nearly 60% from the business paying their personal stuff, imagine how much profits they're really making. Okay, so that is something you definitely want to look into. Uh, so let's see. Non-compete clause, 100 years. Wow, no, 100 miles. Okay, so here's a seller who's being very promising. I mean, I've seen sellers, they don't want to even do a non-compete clause. They want to do like 2 years, 3 mile radius. What does that say? Okay. 2 years later, I'm going to go open a similar business like this. Once again, screw you. Give me the money and I go back again. Okay, so these are very important stuff that you really wanna look into. Okay, so 100 years, 5 years, 5 years, man. By 1 year, you forget about the business. 2 weeks training at zero cost. Okay, that's really good. So the seller is willing to offer somebody, whoever wants to buy, you know, 2 weeks of training at zero cost. Some sellers, they even charge money over here. Time is money, man, and I don't blame anybody. Okay, operating hours are standard Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. So here's the beautiful business. It's listed at a very good price. It is making, good. It is giving good results, okay? And most importantly, it's 5 days a week, so you get the weekends off, you know? Very, very good. I mean, let's see the money they're making. There we go. So this is the 2023 returns. Gross revenue is 200,356. Cost of goods sold is 104,000 because this kind of business requires a lot of uh, inventory, stamps, this, paper is highly equipments, machines, Gross profit, oh wow, look at this. Gross profit is almost $96,000. So that's what, like 8,000, 8,000 per month. That's not bad at all. And okay, um, expense. So the gross profit is um 95,000. Okay, the expense they're showing 64,000. Okay, that's something cooking, something good cooking over there. And then the net they're showing is 31,816. So what this person did here is earning 31,816. All right. So listen, man, 64,000 in expenses. Okay, is the car payment, the insurance, the health insurance, the personal this, the personal that, all that is profit. All that is profit money that you can add back to your business, showing how much the business really makes. So even that being said, 55,000 is really good price. Now, if you're interested, I can negotiate further. I can go and do my thing, what I'm good, because if I'm representing you as the buyer, I know how to negotiate. I can definitely negotiate it down. How much? We don't know, but we gotta play here, there to get it happen. Okay. And if you're the seller, if I'm representing you, don't worry. I won't let anybody negotiate us down because I know all the loopholes, man. I know all. I'm gonna prepare you ahead of time, so don't worry. Either way, we're gonna handle it the right way. Okay. Um, let's see what else we have. There, that's it. So look at it. Now, the most important thing of an established business is the rent and the location. Okay. Rent is the major. Why? Because if this person, look, this guy has been here 35 years, this guy or this gal, okay. 35 years is a long time. That's a very, very good relationship with the landlord that this particular seller is having. Not only that, the lease that they're logged into, man, is pennies to the dollar as of today. And let me tell you something, buying an existing business, okay, I've done videos on this before, but I'm going to tell you again. Buying a business that's already well established is going to be your best investment. Why? Because number one, they have been there for many years. Number two, the seller has a very good relationship with the landlord. So if this seller is deciding to sell, instead of you negotiate your extension lease, so let's say this seller has, let's say, 2 years left on the lease and they have no option to renew. Instead of you as the buyer and your agent go and negotiate with that landlord, I would throw it at the seller's agent. I would say, listen, you know what? Tell your seller to negotiate with the landlord. Tell him that you got somebody really good that can be there for another 35 years. And guess what? The seller is going to do their best because in this case, it seems like the seller is retiring in this case. So if the seller negotiates with the landlord, guess what? You can get a good discount on the rent. You can get a very good negotiated lease term. Okay. If you're looking for, let's say, 10 plus 10 plus 10 option to renew, this seller can do it for you because, see, whenever you see a seller with years established, so many years, uh, they're gonna do it for the seller only, okay? But then the landlord goes to the seller, okay, but will you be a guarantee on this tenant? Because the worst nightmare for a landlord is to lose their tenants, okay? That's the worst. So what you can get the seller to do in this case is say, listen, seller, in order to build my relationship with you and the landlord, let's do something promising here. Like I'm just going to give you example. This is how I would approach this in order to get a good lease. I would go to the seller. Listen, you know what? I'll give you 80% down payment here. I'm not even going to negotiate down. I know I can get this business. I know you want to retire. I know I can get this business for this amount of money. Guess what? I'm not going to negotiate it down. Let's do like this. Let me give you 80%. Okay, 20% you finance me. I really don't need the financing, but I want to make a relationship with you so that you can put positive reviews with the landlord towards me. Okay, sellers are gonna do it, let me tell you. And you tell them, whatever percentage you want financing, I'm willing to offer it. But let's make it happen. And there are so many negotiation techniques that you can apply in order to get that relationship done. In fact, I recently sold a salon, a beauty salon. It was listed for, I believe, $60,000. And I sold it for 40,000. Okay, 20,000 down. But But you know, we asked the seller to finance. The seller said, "Ah, I've had it." He was struggling. Okay, it was an asset sale. This listing is not an asset sale, but that was an asset sale. So, are you crazy? 40,000? You won't finance it? Long story short, uh, the buyer could not get extension on the lease because the lease expired. The lease is supposed to expire one and a half year from now. So the buyer wasn't getting an extension on the lease because the landlord was like, "Oh, this seller that I have, his credit score is 800 plus, and the buyer that I sent, her credit score was like 600, around 600." So the landlord said, "You know what? I'm gonna take like say I believe 3 months of rent as security deposit. Look how it went. Yeah, I'm going to take 3 months of rent as security deposit because I'm just not feeling good about this buyer." And I told them, look, I personally know the buyer. I mean, I know they can come out. And the landlord said no. Anyways, landlord said, look, I take 3% of security deposit. I'm gonna keep the lease agreement at the same price. And on top of that, I want to see how well this buyer is gonna pay in the next 12 months. Well, guess what? When the buyer entered the lease agreement, she made 12 months payment upfront. Upfront, here, take the money. The rent of the place it was in a good location. The previous owner before this particular seller, the previous owner were there for almost 56 years. So think about it. Sometimes the new owners aren't that long, but if you can get the past, who was in the past, how did they survive 56 years in the salon industry? That's also somebody, this new guy bought it First mistake he did, started making changes. That's what you don't do when you buy a business. Don't make changes right away. Wait few months, 8 months, 10 months. Study the business, study the market, study your employees, study the people that you're working with, work with them, understand what the business really needs, and then you start growing that business. But if you go in there and start making changes, you're going to throw yourself out of business in no time. Okay. So we finally agreed to the landlord. Landlord said, okay. Guess what? She ended up getting a 5 plus 5 plus 5, three options on the spot. The landlord was like, whoa, man, even though the credit is bad, 12 months upfront on top of that 3 month security deposit. You know what? You gain my trust. There we go. What do you want? And guess what? We got an increase of 3% every single year in the rent. Okay. 3% is very good. Some landlords, man, they charge they charge 10% and higher, man. I mean, they can, there's no problem, but 10% is it's a lot of money, man. You add it up every single month. So, there are ways to negotiate deals. If you hire a professional agent, you're gonna get professional work done. If you are a buyer looking for an agent, call me, man. I take care of you guys. All right. But in this case, a beautiful, beautiful business. If you like this business, and call me 954-864-9161. Inquire to me about this one and let's get moving. I'll send you a non-disclosure form. You sign it and look, the information is right here, nothing to lose. And and if you really want to buy it, I can definitely work something out for you there. Okay. So, and this one does not qualify for visa because it's under the approval zone. I believe it's 85,000 or 75,000. They keep on changing. So, all right. So there you go. All right, my friends. Thank you so much for watching and have a blessed day. Bye bye.